Got a fishing report for you guys today. Today is Tuesday, June 14th. Sorry for no reports last week. It was a extremely stressful and busy week here at the store with our 8th annual Sheboygan Salmon Cup tournament going on. We had tents to set up, we had trailers to get ready, fish cleaning guys to get going, fish transporting guys to get going for the Triport event. But we got it all going and we had a very successful and fun event. Give you a little rundown of the tournament. Congratulations to Grandpa Six out of Two Rivers. They took first place with a absolutely ridiculous epic box of fish. They weighed 5 fish on Saturday for 87 pounds and 5 kings on Sunday for 92 pounds. Also congratulations to Our Time, who had a phenomenal showing themselves. They weighed 5 fish on Saturday for like 85 pounds and 5 fish on Sunday for 86 pounds. There was a 25-pound king, a 24-pound king weighed this weekend, and I believe somewhere in the range of 9 to 11 20-plus pound kings weighed. I mean, you want to talk about big fish? Full of alewives, full of bait floating everywhere out of Sheboygan, dead on the surface. It's happening right now. Get out of your office chair, get out on the lake, and take a look at the dead bait floating everywhere, and the kings just filled with them. It's crazy. I'm definitely not saying that that's happening everywhere. I'm not saying that everywhere you go on the lake there's crazy amounts of bait, because it sounds like that's not the case. But I can tell you, in my experience out of Sheboygan, it's been 15 or 20 years since I've seen bait like this, which is a good sign. And hopefully it sticks around, because then the fish will stick around. Let's talk a little bit about the fishing report. The coho fishing got slow a couple days before the tournament. Charter boats had to move around to find them. Thankfully they did, and the coho fishing is better than it was the last 2 weeks. You heard me right, it's actually better than it was. Charter boats over the weekend limited out with 20, 25, and even 30 fish catches in a couple of hours. I heard a couple of dumper dam boats, for example, had three trips a day over the weekend, and they were in early on all 3 of their trips with limits. That's just crazy that the fish will bite all day like that. This is the time to get out. Program is the same: orange or red Lure Jensen 00 Dodgers with peanut flies 15 inches behind them, but also the 6-inch spin doctors are lights out. As fast as we can get them in, we're selling them. Guys are running the peanut flies 15 inches behind the 6-inch spin doctors as well. We're getting another load of the spin doctors in tomorrow. If you're looking to get some, I'd recommend you get in here and get them while we got them, because they haven't been lasting more than a day or two. I'm going to show you a little bit about what's been working for the kings from the tournament weekend, not only for us, but for a couple of the other boats that had some success. Just so you know, king fishing's been good north of Sheboygan in 80 to 110 foot of water. And it sounds like the kings are spread out throughout the entire water column. I caught kings 30 down, and some of the boats that did well in the tournament caught kings on the bottom. So it definitely sounds like it's a mixed bag of where you need to put your stuff. Spread it out all over the place, figure out what works for you. Most of my fish were coming up high, while it sounded like some of the other boats had success for catching their fish all down deep. As far as flashers go, one of our best flashers all season so far was also one of our best ones last year, which is the Chrome Mercy. It's a Michigan Stinger flasher. Looks like that on the front, and it's got that chrome kit glow back. That thing's been just lights out for me on a pump handle rod, so up in the top 35 foot. UV Two-Face was really good over the weekend as well. It sounded like quite a few different boats did really well on this. That's one that we came up with as an Anglers Avenue custom, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago already, and it's out for everybody now, and that's just a great, good bait. Our best bait on our boat all weekend, and some of our partners that we share information with did real well on this as well, is the AASGH. Again, it's called the AASGH. It's a Michigan Stinger flasher. It's got a blue bubble ladder on a chrome blade with UV tape over it. It's really, really cool in the water, reflects crazy. You can kind of probably see on the video here how much reflection that thing has. That was working really well for us on a wire diver up in the top 30 feet of the water column. Then it sounded like this UV PK Special, which is something I developed, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago already, was really, really good for quite a few boats as well. Some guys were running it with meat rigs, some guys were running it with flies, but this was a great bait as well, which makes sense. You saw a bunch of UV on the other stuff, so it would make sense that this would work. I know a lot of boats had success with spin doctors on their high divers up in the top 35 feet of the water column, and it sounded like the Anglers Avenue Customs were going again. The Megatron was one of the ones guys were really talking about over the weekend, and we just about sold out of. This thing's been red hot, like I said, on a high diver for Kings. And then you had the Kryptonite, which is pretty similar, but it's got a green ladder. That was really, really hot on a high diver over the weekend for Kings. There's been a couple different fly patterns that have been working, but probably the most standout one has been the Mercy UV. It's an aqua fly with UV material inside of it. That fly has just been absolutely lights out on any of these different flashers. And then a lot of the guys like the frog flies, as they call it, bullfrog, super frog, whatever. It seemed like for us, the Doughboy, which has the crinkle material in it instead of the flat, was the one that the fish seemed to pick out this weekend. If we ran this frog fly with the flat material in it, they didn't seem to want it as much as they did with the crinkle material. So if you don't have that Mercy UV or that Doughboy fly, I would recommend getting something either close to it or that particular one. Again, if you're looking to come out of Sheboygan, right now is the time to make it happen. 80 to 110 just north of town a little bit for the Kings, and then once that bite dies down, you can just slide your way right out to 200 foot, Troller North, and get limit up on cohos. If you need anything else, call me at the store at 920-395-2079, or if you want to purchase any of this product, our website is www.anglersavenueproshop.com. Good luck on the water.